All right, good morning, Teller County. This is Teller Time, coming to you from Solid Grounds Coffee House. And we're in beautiful Woodland Park today. And today is a special day for us. Today we celebrate our 50th podcast episode. And yes, folks, you've liked us so much that we're still on the air. So 50 shows of stories, laughter, mountain life, and the people who make this place enjoyable. Grab a coffee, grab a tea, settle in, and let's kick off this milestone the Teller County way with heart, humor, community, and lots of appreciation. All right, so folks, if you missed the incredible music event a couple weeks ago, yes, I'm talking about America's Mountain Festival. It was quite the musical event. And of course, it happened right behind Tava House. It was incredible because the music was fantastic. It was well received by over 1,000 people. And the masters of ceremony, of course, Charlie and myself, were all cowboyed up. So we rocked the event. Okay, we were keeping the energy flowing and the laughter going. Not only did we rock, but local businesses did too. Visitors from all over were welcomed. Musicians kept the crowds entertained. And vendors stayed busy for over 9 hours. And our little mountain town became the place to be. But events like this don't just happen. They take months of planning and an army of volunteers who work behind the scenes long before the first tent goes up. And they're usually the last ones to leave after everything comes down. So hats off to everyone who helped make this year's festival a success. We're keeping the hometown spirit and this podcast alive thanks to our amazing sponsors. We have Above the Clouds Pet Sitting. We have Blackcap Photography. We have Hardcastle Heating and Cooling. And of course, we have our friends at the Ute Pass Historical Society who remind us that every story we tell today is built on the stories of the people who came before us. The miners, the dreamers, the families, and the mountain souls who carved out life in these hills. So we got some interesting background effects today. Like Charlie said, we're in a coffee house, so have fun with this. All right, Teller County, to celebrate our 50th episode, we brought the man who puts the hard in Hardcastle.
Oh, that was good. I like that.
The mountain strong, coffee fueled, joke dropping, crowd rocking legend himself, Josh Hardcastle. And if you're not awake yet, don't worry, Josh is about to fix us. So this is Teller Time, and let's go. Good morning, Josh, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Josh. Thank you for that awesome introduction, Tom. He never fails.
There you go. All right. You're going to tell us a little bit about Hardcastle Heating and Cooling, your involvement and their involvement in the community, because I know they do a lot of stuff. So it's a local family business, and you've got the mic to tell us all about whatever you think is pertinent for people to hear.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's kind of, start from the top with the Hardcastle family. We all hail from Louisiana. Just a bunch of rednecks who work on AC equipment down there. Nice. And decided to get out of the heat. Like I said, my parents are the owners. They moved up here about 15 years ago. Opened up Hardcastle right at 11 years ago now. Wow. And they've been serving Teller County since then. Dad and Mom, they've always been their own boss, and it's got to stay that way. That's nice. So they were a small company for the longest time. Really until 2018, that's when I got out of the Air Force, called Dad, and moved to Colorado, and started working with a family company. Yeah. At the time, it was me, Dad, Mom. We had one lady in the office helping us, and Dad had one other helper at the time. So 5 people total. Wow. And since then, we've kind of exploded. A lot bigger than we ever thought we'd be. But the parents, they've got a great foundation with this company to, one, serve the people here in Teller, El Paso, and Park County, but also create good jobs for hard-working people. Heck yeah. And that's the one thing that I love about my parents is how well they treat their employees. Right. Our turnover rate is almost non-existent because of that. That's important, man. That's really good. Yeah. And so, you see the same people every year. When you have your equipment serviced by us, the same text comes up. We have that personal relationship with our customers, which appears very important.
Right.
And after we started expanding and growing, and customers were asking for plumbers. So Dad said, "Okay, we're going to open up a plumbing door." And then they asked for electricians. So, okay, we're going to open up an electrician. And I think we're about at the point where we're as big as we want to get. I mean, we come from small town spaces, and Dad's always had a small business. It's the largest company he's ever had, and we feel it.
Yeah. How many employees?
And right now, we're at 21 employees, counting management, office staff, technicians. So long way in the 10 years that we've been operating.
Did you even believe, when you started with it fresh out of the Navy, that it would be like this? It would have exploded as much, and
absolutely not.
You'd still be doing
Especially working. I worked with my dad in high school, on summers in Louisiana. And I was cussing him every summer. It was terrible. We were in 200-degree attics. It's a miserable, my gosh. And I told him my senior year, Dad, I don't want your company. I'm joining the military. I don't want anything to do with it. And here we are. Yeah. It's a different job. Yeah. But one thing I can say with my parents is I'm so proud of their progression in life and where they've come. Like I said, we're from the trailer parks in Louisiana. And to see where I was born and where my parents are at now, I'm so proud of what they've accomplished. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of good morals they have. That keeps a business running, treating your customers right, not selling stuff that customers don't need. Yeah, integrity. That's what we preached on in the military, integrity. And if you show that, the rest is going to follow right. It's going to take care of itself.
Exactly. I got a question, though. You mentioned some of the things you're doing, electrical, plumbing, and then I heard a rumor, and I hope it's true, that you know how to work on standby generators.
Yeah, absolutely. So
we're off the grid. That's why I say that.
And a lot of customers like that.
Yeah,
we get a lot of those mountain people out here who want to be disconnected from everything. And I feel that too.
Yeah.
And every now and then we do get those storms that knock out power, so it is good to have. Especially if you are out in Florida. One, it's nice to not be connected to the city if you don't have to be. But also, if the heat goes out in the snowstorm, it can be very dangerous. And for some of our customers, you just worry about frozen pipes.
Right.
But we do have customers out there who aren't overheating. The heat goes out, and it can be a life-or-death situation. They gotta have heat.
Yeah.
Gotta have heat. So we will do everything in our power to make sure. I've walked through 2 feet of snow with space heaters before. My truck can't make it.
Oh my God!
But I can get you space heaters in the house. That's awesome.
That is above and beyond, man. That's awesome.
And it's just, we think of it as it's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
If I was in that situation and somebody could help me like that, I would want them to. So I'm going to make sure to do it for not only my customers, but whoever.
That's fantastic.
So one of the things I notice a lot on Facebook is that you offer a lot of free services just to help people. You're not about, charging money. You got a question, we're going to charge you money. We're going to come out to your house. We're going to charge you, fees and everything. You offer a lot of information online. You offer apprenticeship programs. You offer free classes, and HVAC. So I've seen a lot about that, and that's something that's really important. Giving back to the community and not just thinking about the proverbial dollar. So elaborate on that a little bit. People call you up and say, "Well, I need my heater isn't working." You don't just say, "Okay, we'll set you up for an appointment." I think you try and help them either online or you talk them through it on the phone, which is a good thing.
There's a couple different reasons. Because one, most of our technicians get live down in the spring, myself included. So if you call me on a Saturday and I'm still at the house, one, I don't want to drive to your house. I'm going to see if I can save you some money and save me some time. Right. But there is a line, because at the end of the day, we are working on gas equipment, and there's only so much homeowners can. But we want our homeowners to be informed. One, just from a human perspective, I come to your house, come to find out it's just a dirty filter that was causing the issue. I don't want to charge you our service for I want to be able to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And two, from a company, a business side of things, if I'm driving out to Cripple Creek for an $89 service charge, and it's just a dirty filter, the company didn't make no money on it. I tell my customers, just peek at it every now and then. You know, take a look at it, listen to it. If you hear anything or see anything, then give us a call.
Yeah.
But we do offer not only classes that I'm sure we'll get into, you know, for our teenagers, but for our homeowners as well. We do homeowner classes, and homeowners come out. And I'm showing you how to change the filter. I'm showing you how to shut your gas off. I'm showing you about your furnace, showing you where to cut your water off if you have a water leak.
Yeah.
And we see that, I guess, more with my generation and younger. There's a lot of new homeowners who aren't knowledgeable about their home as they should be. And, you know, if you call me after hours on a Sunday and I'm on a call and your house is spewing water, you got to know how to shut that water main off.
That's a good idea.
You get there for 2 or 3 hours, and at that time, you have a flooded house.
Oh, man.
So it's very important to be educated. And we do see, with some of the younger people who haven't just been educated yet on that equipment. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we like, in our shop, you know, we have everything set up. Furnaces, boilers, water heaters. Where we get people out, homeowners out, and they're doing the work. You know,
Oh, wow.
They're pulling the filter out of your equipment and showing where it goes. Because like I said, it makes a big difference. One, saving homeowners money, taking care of these small things. And two,
Right.
saving my weekends too, you know.
There you
so I
go.
don't come up and just
That's
change
right.
the filter, you know.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Then on the flip side, you know, we do have our education department. And that's something that really comes from the parents. And really mom's passion, you know, is educating the youth. And that's why in our shop with our new building, we have running equipment set up for the kids. I say kids, but you know, your teenagers to come in and have fun with this equipment.
Yeah.
Our curriculum starts with your basic HVAC 101. And we're just going over the equipment, out of the order of operations. And we start showing off some tools, and that's when everything gets fun. Once you bring out the power tools,
Yeah.
you see their eyes light up, you know. And then by the end of it, we're putting together gas lines. We're putting together ductwork. We're having these students diagnose the equipment, running them through troubleshooting. So after you take our classes, by the end of it, I mean, you're ready to be a helper in the HVAC field. You really are.
Do you see a return to the vocational business by kids? I mean, I know they're trying to bump it up more and make people more aware and getting the VOTEC, you know, skills back in people's hands, woodworking and plumbing and heating and all that stuff. I mean, have you had a good response from, you know, teens or people in general, or who is your age that you've seen more of a response from with these programs?
And it is hit or miss. We've worked with some seniors in high school who are at that senioritis and they don't care. They're not going in the trades. You know, they don't want to be here. They're here to get out of class. And really, your younger students who are right at that end of middle school going into high school, who aren't sure what they want to do, and they don't really know if they want to work with their hands or not. And then you give them a drill, and they find out that they love it. You put a saw in their hand, and they love it even more.
Right.
So you have to get them interested at that right age. And that was my issue as well. Is, you know, when I was working with the parents throughout high school, I wasn't interested. I'm not naturally mechanical like my dad is, but I do like working with my hands. It's fun to. So taking that, and even just if you like working with your hands, that's a good start. Whether that be just tinkering with small control boards, you know, because that's a whole side of the HVAC field as well. It's not just your turning the big wrenches and stuff, you know. I mean, there's your control side of it with your more tech people who are good at computers to have a space in this field as well.
Sure.
It's endless.
All right. Charlie, you got anything
No,
else?
I'm going to take a look at this.
Are we
Sorry.
working? No?
Yeah, I think so. What's it say?
Firing on all
Heads
four?
up. Oh, we don't need to know. That's fine. It's just, you know, they're trying to sell you something every time you turn around.
Right. All right, so give us any classes coming up, HVAC class, anything for the adults, anything for the kids, or what is the school year is around the corner. So, I mean, I don't know if you do stuff during the school year for the kids, but give us your contact information. Give us any information on community work that you're doing, please.
So the biggest way to find that information is our social media. Following us at Hardcastle Home Services is our social media, and we post all of our classes all around the community. During the summer, we have one more that's only open if you've done our other classes, because our HVAC 201 is our next one for the summer. So during the summer, we do a 101, 102, and 201. Then during the school year, we have a multitude of classes where the actual schools bring their students up.
Wow.
Manitou, Cripple Creek, Woodland Park, merit. I mean, any school up here. If you're interested, talk to whoever your trade teacher is, at your program. They can sign you up. And those classes are just for the students who are interested. They don't bring their whole class up. They have a pool of students, and we limit our classes to 15 students. So it's only people who are interested. And during our summer, that's good for our homeschool kids. So if you're not connected to the school during the school year, you can sign up for our summer classes. That way you get that education.
Yeah.
Is all that information on the website? Because again, seeing how you are a sponsor, this is something we want to continuously mention every time we go on our podcast. So
hardcastleheat.com, where you can find us, has all of our information, and there's links to our socials on there as well. And they're great classes. We can really get involved, and we really get these students hands on. We're not just death by PowerPoint by any means.
Do the students get credits?
So it's no
it's not like
college affiliated.
Okay.
We'd like to get there at some point.
Yeah.
We do give you some nice certs and stuff that you can take to companies.
Yeah.
And we do have a success story with one of our technicians, Shane. He was a homeschool guy up here. His senior year, he did our summer classes, HVAC 101, 102, 201. About a week later, I told the parents, we need to hire this kid. We need a helper. He's a fantastic worker. He's smart as all get out. So he did all of our classes, and he's been with us just at a year now.
Right.
And we have sent him everywhere, not just HVAC. His plan was to do HVAC, but because he's such a good worker, we got him doing plumbing and everything. So go ahead.
all right. Well, all right. Very good. That was very impressive. And again, a lot for a community, which is good. So we appreciate all that. Thank you to the entire company. Thank you to your family. And changing the energy up a little bit. Okay. We're going to get into some question and answers that our listeners may be interested in. All right. What is the funniest or most head scratching thing someone has asked you to fix that had nothing to do with heating or cooling?
Well, so that's my own fault because I will go to your house. So when I'm done, I'll ask if you need help moving furniture or whatever,
Yeah.
But one that really sticks out, and it is kind of HVAC related. I had a tenant in Woodland Park who called me because her AC wasn't working. Get out there, look at her thermostat, go down to the unit. She doesn't have an air conditioner. So I go up and talk to her, and I'm like, man, you don't have an air conditioner? And she's like, no, I swear it worked last year totally fine. Wow. So I called the landlord. And he's like, no, Joshua, she does this all the time. I told her before there's no AC. She's fully convinced there's an air conditioner. And he told me, he's like, just go fake it and tell her whatever she wants to do. Oh, gosh. I was like, well, sir, I can't lie to your tenant.
Right.
But that's one that always sticks with me, But like I said, if I'm at your house and you need some help with the dishes, you need some help mowing the grass, I'm going to give you a hand.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Now, wait a minute. I could be calling you about a lot of stuff.
We go above and beyond.
Yeah.
All right. What is one thing you wish everyone knew about how much local businesses like yourself that you care about this community?
I think for us, honestly, our customers in this small town field, our customers really get a good read on small businesses. That is one thing we're really fortunate in Woodland Park, specifically, and in Teller County, is how good of a relationship small businesses have with our clientele here. And our customers are very educated, which is amazing, not only on businesses, but on their equipment and everything too. And what I tell people is, if I go to your house and I do good work, you're going to tell your neighbors, of course.
Right.
If I go to your house and do bad work, you're telling your whole street.
Oh, heck yeah.
So really, from our customer perspective, our customers are fantastic. I mean, they're very well educated, and they're good at beating customers. And us tradespeople, we've talked about. There's always people want to have an app where you can rate customers so you kind of know what you're getting into. And I always say, like, if that happened up here, all of our customers would be 5 stars.
Nice.
You get them every now and then,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't please everyone.
No, that's right.
What gets you amped up first thing in the morning? Coffee, tea, or your adrenaline for the day?
For me, it's definitely adrenaline. I'm a chronic coffee drinker, but I'm one of those guys where I can take a cup of coffee and then pass out and go to sleep.
Wow.
For me, it's people. My day to day is dealing with people. I love talking to people, and Yeah,
That's good.
I'm in HVAC to make money for sure. I'm not an HVAC because I like to work on equipment.
Right.
I like to be in your house and I like to talk to you about life.
Right.
And that's what gets me going for the day.
Sweet.
Okay. Again, another part of our program is some interesting or maybe not so interesting or important did you know questions.
Oh yeah.
And today with you in the hot seat, our theme will be plumbing, heating, and cooling. And feel free to elaborate on some of these. So this might be for Charlie. Charlie, did you know a single dripping faucet can waste over 3,000 gallons of water a year?
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I bet that is right.
Makes sense,
I
yeah.
bet that's right.
Is that low or high, or is that about the
sounds high
norm?
to me for sure. But I mean, it checks out, you know.
A year, though.
Yeah, if it's a constant drip, absolutely, you know.
All right.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
why it's important, like I said, to go back to just peek at stuff.
Right.
Look under your sinks every now and then.
Or
Check
run
the-
those, you know how the toilets can sometimes just run?
Yep.
That can burn up some water. Or
All right. True or false? Water heaters typically last 20 to 25 years without issues.
So
not mine.
the trade community would tell you false. You know, we're going to say average life expectancy for a standard atmospheric water heater, 7 to 12 years. Now granted, most of the ones we swap out are older than that. It's all about maintaining your equipment, and that goes to flushing your water heater. If it's been flushed, if it hasn't been maintained, you don't want to do that. But up here we have very hard water. So also get water softeners installed, inline filters installed.
You do that too?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
All right. Did you know, Charlie, a furnace running with a cracked heat exchanger can be deadly? I don't even know what a heat exchanger is. So
A furnace with a
cracked
Yeah.
heat exchanger.
well, anything cracked when there's gas, and, that could be bad.
And that's that word that you don't want to hear the HVAC use, cracked heat exchanger.
Okay.
When we come out to do an inspection on your unit, your heat exchanger is your internal metal chamber of your furnace. That's where your burners get that metal box hot, air blows over the hot metal box, and get you hot air in the house. When there's cracks in that heat exchanger, due to combustion, we get flue gases, carbon monoxide, dangerous gases. So those cracks, as that air is blowing over your heat exchanger, it's pulling out those flue gases, which gets into your ductwork and spreads throughout your house. That's one of the only times if it's an older unit, where you are looking at a replacement. If I see a cracked heat exchanger on a unit past 15 years old, liability says I'm not going to replace that heat exchanger if you're over 15 years old. And because we have a carbon monoxide leak at that point, we got to replace it. Anything else, we can swap parts out all day long. Yeah. But once you hear that term, cracked heat exchanger,
Oh, man.
All right. True or false? Clogged dryer vents are a leading cause of house fires.
That's a bad one for sure.
I don't know about the leading cause, but I will tell you that that happens more often than you think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really,
It's gotten better now because new dryers do have
the newer ones too,
sensors
yeah.
on them to cut themselves off. Whereas old dryers, they're just going to run and run.
You still got to pull the thing out and clean it by hand. Yeah.
And I get bad about it too myself, but it is very important. And they even make these devices up here, which some of my customers use, and you can even buy it at Home Depot. You don't have to call me for it. But it's these little boxes that you don't run your dryer into the exterior of your house. You run it inside to a little collector's box, which makes your house smell. And it adds up humidity. Now, granted, it can get some lint going if you're not in a dirty mechanical room, But it's visible, so you see it. And when you see that lint going everywhere, you know it's time to clean it, When you have dryer vents run through your crawl space out of the house, you tend to forget about it until 20 years later when your dryer's not working at all. But yeah, it is a very big issue, very dangerous for sure. You want to
Here's one for you. You know you're a redneck because I lived in southern Missouri, and you know you're a redneck when you take pantyhose and put it at the end of your dryer hose and heat your house with.
Exactly.
And I did that.
We've done that too growing up. Absolutely.
Oh
And it gets you humidity in the house. Like
Yeah.
that, so it makes it feel nice.
yeah, it doesn't do bad. That's good.
All right. Obviously, I think everyone knows this, but dirty coils can increase cooling costs by up to 30%. That makes sense. Yeah.
Same with your filter. You
Yeah.
have restrictions in your airflow. are going to cause motors to run high. Efficiency is going to drop. When we're talking about coil specifically, we're talking about if you have air conditioning, you have an indoor coil, typically above your furnace. You kind of think of an A-frame radiator where your refrigerator runs through, and that gets blocked. And those do have to get cleaned as well. That's nothing a homeowner should be doing. You definitely want to call a licensed professional technician to come out.
Yeah, I bet. Now, I can't imagine there being, it's been pretty warm lately, but up here in Teller County, there's not a whole lot of air conditioners.
Definitely not as much as El Paso. There are more than you'd expect.
Really?
Because we do have
I guess the casinos.
Yeah, and your residential homeowners who came up from Texas, came out from California, they're used to having AC.
That's right.
And like me being from Louisiana, I used to get home and turning my AC on so I can feel it. I just wanted to be there.
I know, man.
But yeah, definitely not as much as El Paso. That's why during this time of year, we're more in the springs. We're kind of advertising down there to hit our AC customers.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah, because up here,
it makes sense. Yeah.
All right. Changing gears, always. Once again, why did the plumber break up with the electrician?
Oh, because I don't want to sit. There's a dirty joke about that, but I ain't going there.
There was no spark and too many crossed lines.
Okay.
Boom, boom. All right. Okay, so Josh, we've talked about future events. Anything else? We need to know. We've gotten all your contact information, where, when, who, why, and how. So sounds like a very successful business, very community oriented, which is very important up here in Woodland Park because, like you said, if you're good, they're going to tell everyone. If you're bad, they're going to pull out the blanket and the fireplace and send up smoke screens, smoke signals.
Contractors need to be held accountable.
Of course.
Because there's too many times where somebody goes into someone's house and makes your customer uncomfortable. It's my job to make sure you're comfortable with me in your house and make sure you trust them.
Right. No, that's real important. Yeah.
All right. Well, Josh, thank you for taking the time and everything. You got the picture. We appreciate you joining us on our 50th. So feel honored. We don't have a tiara or roses or anything to offer you for being, number 50.
Hi, this is Cody with Blackcap Photography, and I would like to invite you to the Wedding Gathering. The Wedding Gathering is a boutique open house series held at venues all across Colorado, and we are coming to the Ute Pass Cultural Center on Sunday, August 2nd from 1 to 3 p.m. Stop in at your leisure, talk with trusted vendors, and tour the space, and just get help planning your wedding. We look forward to seeing you there.
Thus, some of the quaintness. It was the original Pikes Peak Courier newspaper building.
That's right.
And of course, has undergone several iterations since then.
Yeah.
And for a little over the past 5 years, has been a coffee roastery and coffee shop. So
you've had it for how long? Because I know
it'll be 2 years for us on August 9th. So
wow.
We're
Cool.
almost ready to celebrate our second anniversary here, and the aroma that you pick up on is, in addition to just being a coffee shop, or a coffee roastery. So we import and roast on average about 8,000 pounds of coffee a year. And we
8,000 pounds.
Yeah, we import
that's a lot of beans
from all over the place, from Ethiopia, from Indonesia, from Brazil, from Guatemala. We've brought in beans from Costa Rica and even as far away as Papua New Guinea. So, and we have a good time with it.
All right, good. What are the hours here in operation? And again, let everyone know where you're located in case they don't know where the quaint little yellow, gold, mustard colored building is. Whatever.
Well, it's a log cabin, so it's cabin color.
I love the ceiling.
We're right in the heart of Woodland Park at 108 North Park Street. Again, just right in the center of town. Feel like you had another question in there.
Hours of operation, days.
That's right. Yeah, we're open 7 days a week. We're open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sundays.
And besides coffee, it looks like you offer some really great looking foods and burritos and sweets and treats over there. What do you got? Are those in-house made?
Yep. So everything is made in-house. We've got a talented roster of bakers. And so all of our pastries and everything are made from scratch right here in-house.
Wow.
Have a number of gluten-free options as well. Among
Hey.
our pastries, for our folks that are gluten sensitive.
That's me, man. That's,
and they are, I would say, our fresh baked goods are half of our claim to fame.
Is there a popular one out there that people tend to order more that you go through a lot quicker than most?
We've got a couple really popular ones. People love our pumpkin bread year round,
Okay.
even though pumpkin sort of has a season.
Right.
Our blueberry buckles are really popular. And then we bake fresh scones every morning. And day to day, they change. There's not a set schedule. And we, our approach to management has been, we tell the folks that do the baking, like, get creative.
Yeah.
If you have a good idea, just run with it. And so the scones, day to day, it's a surprise to me. But they're really popular. People tend to complain about them, and say they tend to sell out. At least a day or two a week. We'll also make savory scones, which eat more like a biscuit, and they're really popular. People like to order them smothered in sausage gravy for something that'll really stick to the ribs. So,
man,
do you ever do any coffee education classes?
That comes up from time to time, and we haven't done an education class yet, but that's something I should think about maybe scheduling and pushing out to the community.
Yeah, nice winter thing, nice winter event. You got the fireplace, you got the music, you got the smell of the coffee roasting, and you're just educating people on simple beanology.
Yeah, beanology. Now, is that the word of the day?
That'll be next week's word of the day.
That's right.
Well, thank Jason for that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're going to continue on to this. We're going to get a shot of the whole place at the end, so that'll be on our podcast coming up. But again, appreciate your time, the opportunity to use your place for our special day. Yeah,
50th episode.
50th.
Yes.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
So
I know it's just
you're good.
We keep getting requests. We keep getting more guests. It's growing. I mean, you can't stop.
No. So we will continue, and then we'll check back with you. We'll get a little tour of the place. About maybe 10, 15 minutes. That works for
whatever you guys need.
Okay.
Before I go, if I can,
sure, always.
I'd like to offer that you all would be remiss not to interview Mr. Tim Seeker,
who
happens to be in the coffee shop this morning.
He's here.
You're going to swap out when you're done.
Yeah.
I'll
tee him up. Right?
Can you do that? Yeah.
I mean,
do that.
I think everyone in the community knows Tim Seeker, local celebrity. And steadfast in his support of the youth in the community. And as I understand it, I was doing the math. If this is your 50th anniversary, you must be class of 76. So,
76.
His class is celebrating their 50th reunion. And he looks prepped and excited for that. So
that's right.
Whoever's listening, round of applause for the class of 1976. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tim Seeker.
Glad to have you, Tim.
All right. Swap it out. And you're just going to tell us a little bit about who you are, Tim, because I know of you. But you can tell us, why you're so involved in Teller County, Woodland Park area.
Well, howdy. My name is Tim Seeker. As just mentioned, I am class of 1976 here at Woodland Park High School. And I just love my community, and I love my school, my town, so I do everything I can to support. I have a lot of great memories in my town, and I probably drive people up a wall with my constant reflection back on things. Like I remember this particular building here in the 70s was actually, if my memory serves me correctly, was actually an antique store at the time.
Really?
Yeah, I used to live straight up the road there. My neighbor was Bert Bergstrom.
You knew Bert?
Yes, he was my neighbor.
Wow!
You passed Historical Society. There's a member.
I know. That's right. That's awesome. Well, we've done a lot of publicity about Bert Bergstrom, especially the park that was named after him right across the road there, and we got people on the board that worked with him too. I don't know if you know Steve Plute. He used to work with Bert up at the Ute.
I remember the name, and I know that I believe some of their family members were in high school at the same time I was.
That's right. That's probably right, Stan and Carol. So you're an ex-Marine, or you're a Marine?
Well, there's no such thing as an ex-Marine.
That's what I meant. That's why I said you're a Marine.
Yes, I put 8.5 years in the Corps from 1978 to 1986. And just a shout out to my brother Jim, who also graduated as a class of 73. He retired as a sergeant major in the Marine Corps. So.
Wow, thanks for your service, brother.
Thank you,
Yeah, appreciate you.
So you've been up here most of your life? Were you born and raised up here? Or did you move up here a certain part of your life and just fell in love with it? Or what's your little story with that?
Well, I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, because my dad was a Navy person. And so I was born in 1957 in Jacksonville. And when he retired in 71, we moved to Colorado Springs, where I went to what was called South Junior High School back then, which don't exist anymore. Then in 72, my mom and dad bought that house next to Burt Brigstorm just for a note. It was $20,000 they paid for the house.
Things have changed.
So my dad came up here, and he worked with the Teller County Sheriff's Department for 3 years there. And so I spent my freshman year to my senior year in Woodland Park. And then I joined the Marine Corps in 78. And so I put 8.5 years in the Marine Corps. Then I was on the East Coast for a while, and I lived out there for a while, and came back to Colorado in 2004.
Wow.
All right. And there's just a certain magic, I guess, up here in Teller County, Woodland Park, that just people fall in love with. I mean, I've been up here 17 years, and there's just something about it. It's busy but not busy, and it's just so gorgeous with, the town and the, mountains and the sun and everything. But there's a certain energy up here, I think, that, is what keeps people here, keeps people falling in love with it, makes them stay here.
Seems like you do a lot with the community as well. You're involved around town, right?
Well, yeah, I like I said, I love this community, and I love this town, and I really love my high school and stuff, and it's just always the way I've been. My parents, brought that into me, and taught it. And like you said, Woodland Park. Now I gotta be honest with you. Usually I say Woody Park, so
Woody.
Yeah. When I was in high school, we had a coach named Michael Conley. He was my cross country coach. He was a beloved teacher, and he was also my track coach. And so when we would start our races in cross country, he'd go, "Let's go Woody Park."
Nice.
So if anybody wonders where I got that from, that's where.
That's where that shirt fits.
There you
right
go.
There. Yeah.
This was a gift to me. But I just, I like I said, I love my school. It makes me sad sometimes, though, when we have the attendance of people attending these events at school are about half of what they were back when Woodland Park was a little community of.
Yeah.
Back then, it was 1,200 people.
I know,
in the
right?
70s, and Teller County was only 2,000 people.
That's right. Yeah.
And I know the build-up, what makes the town up is completely different from back then.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's why I don't support them so much, because there's, in all honesty, just not getting that anymore. But
No.
yes, I do love my town too. I will, strongly defend it, and it is special. It is unique.
Yeah.
I've lived in a lot of places, especially since I said my dad was Navy, so we moved around a lot.
Yeah.
In Florida, but there's nothing like Woodland Park that that has a special place in my heart.
Right.
And so, in this community, and it's changed, but you know what? We still have a great, diverse, and great, wonderful community. We just recently showed that when we had the support for the firefighters.
Yes.
And this town got together, and they've done so much support in so many different areas, and
it happens so quickly. The word goes out, and within a matter of minutes, they're filling up trucks, or they're filling up police cars, or school buses, or stuff for the kids, or for the first responders, or for the firefighters, and everything. And that you don't see, in many towns. But you just put the word out, and all of a sudden, people are just clamoring faster than they can move to get the help out there and get what's needed to these people. So I know I see you a lot. You're on Facebook a lot, commenting, watching, saying, doing, seeing. So your involvement in the community is, quite phenomenal. And I know people, appreciate seeing you there, and, just the support. Even if one person supports, that's that's better than nothing.
Every person counts.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, amen to that. And we mentioned about the community coming together for these firefighters, but you know what? That isn't the first time.
No.
This town has come together, and I've seen it. I've seen it over and over. They've come together. When we had that gentleman who had the car accident,
Yes.
a fellow Marine, well, I should say truck.
Yeah.
They came together and provided for him.
Yeah.
And you know what? When we have these things, we don't ask you if you're Democrat or Republican or any of this. We just say, this is a fellow person from Woodland Park. We're going to support him. And I truly believe that is the greatest foundation of Woodland Park is that we don't care. We help people when they're in need. And I believe this town will continue to do that. So it is special. It is unique. And so that's why I love it so much. And I share those things on the community page because I think it's important for people to know that. It is so easy to go on these community pages and tear people apart.
Of course.
And you won't see me do that.
No.
If I have an issue with somebody, guess what? I'm going to go to them specifically and say, hey, I want you to know this, this is this, and let's talk about it one-on-one. So that's why you won't see negative stuff on me. I will build.
You won't see it on our podcast.
That's old school. That's the way you were brought up, the way I was brought up, the way he was brought up. Deal with it face to face. None of this hiding behind anonymous BS.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't do that. And I mean, like I said, I'll be 69 in a few weeks, and I've learned a lot.
Yeah,
I've learned a lot, and you still stick to your guns, you stick strong to what you believe. But the one thing I've learned though. Actually, stick strong to what you believe, but also know why you believe what you believe. And what I mean is do your research and also be willing to say, you know what? I may be wrong about this. And so with myself, I'm willing to listen to people and hear what they have to say. And if they can show me something where I may be mistaken, I'm willing to sit there and say, you're right. I will fix that or I'll correct that.
Exactly.
So, like I said, I try to push things or share things on a community page that are respectful and just a lot of things. That's just the world is much faster now than it was in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Back then back then it was called the U-Pass Courier, Pikes Peak Courier. That was our basic flow of information, and of course the paper, the springs, that was it. But now you have so many various forms of
communication.
And what's hard though is not being able to discern what is accurate and what isn't anymore. So.
All right. Well, I think again the motto "Tell her strong" is a very good. It says a lot, just those two words, and you resemble that. You echo that sentiment all the time with everything you do. So, we don't. It's nice for someone to say thank you. We're not always looking for thank yous for what we do because we do it out of our heart, out of the goodness, and out of because it feels good. But yeah, Tim, thank you very much for what you do for the community because it is important that people stand up and they have a voice and they know you're going to be there. And you just set a good example maybe for some of the young kids. And, why do they see Tim everywhere? The parents are going to explain why. And it's for your love of the community. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate the opportunity of having you on our 50th podcast today. So you should feel doubly special because you're our 50th podcast today.
And happy 50th anniversary to the class of 1976.
There you go.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Woodland Park, right?
Amen. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
So,
all right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
And let's go Woody Park.